He found a die maker in the red light area of Mumbai.
अच्छा.
He says, in the night, I used to take a blanket on my head and go there so that my relatives don't see me going to the red light area. I mean, we would get silicon like a ration. The sales manager would really not give us material.
Achha.
But in another 2-3 years, we saw 22 machines. Then about 2 years, a year before last, it was 26 or 52 machines, right? Last year, what I did was 93 machines.
Oh, it's going that far.
But the solvented platinum, I started, and then we went on to solventless. Why? Because in 1 year, 3 times my factory caught fire.
Companies who are in 20 to 50 crores, जो वो रेंज में है और जिनको 100 crores प्लस करना है, तो उनको क्या करना चाहिए आपके हिसाब से? हरवीर जी नमस्ते.
नमस्ते जी, नमस्ते.
वेलकम टू स्टोरीज. थैंक्स, आप दिल्ली से आए मुंबई. आपको प्रिंट वीक अवार्ड्स के लिए आना था, बट यू टेकन एक्स्ट्रा टाइम to spare this afternoon, Sunday afternoon with us.
It's a pleasure. I'm sorry, you've been following me up for almost a year now.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you want me to come on a Sunday, that's it.
Saturday or Sunday, unfortunately, yes, because I've got another business to look at, so it becomes a little difficult on a weekday to do it for me, because this is a passion project and I really don't run it as a business.
Yes.
So I try to find time on a Saturday and Sunday. But coming back, thanks again, I really appreciate. आपका लेबल इंडस्ट्री में आप इतने जानकार हैं. आप मुझे बता रहे थे आप 46 प्लस ईयर से ये इंडस्ट्री में है.
That's right.
So I think I should start from the journey of label industry, from where it started to where it is today. थोड़ा आप बताएंगे हिस्ट्री और आज का करंट सिनेरियो.
No, you want me to talk about label only, or you want me to talk from where I started?
The way you would want to.
No, the thing is that label journey started in 1978. But my journey started from when I started going to school.
Okay. So we'll probably start with your journey and then get to the label industry.
Okay. So the first part of my schooling I did in Delhi.
Okay.
Very known name, J.D. Titler. But then that was only in the first half of the school, and then the last part, that means 8th onwards, I went to a boarding school in Himachal.
Okay.
And from there, after school, I did my BSc in chemistry from Punjab University, Chandigarh.
Okay.
And while I was in Chandigarh, because when I crossed 1969, I was 18. My father took me as a partner in his company that was called Weldon Sales Corporation. I would always refer to it as a parent company. It was started in 1939 by him.
Oh,
in
1939.
In 39.
85 years.
In the in Punjab, which is now Pakistan.
Okay. Pre-independence.
Pre-independence, yes. So.
तो वेल्डन सेल्स कॉर्पोरेशन क्या करती थी तभी?
They were into stationery, I would say. Rather, they started with fountain pennings.
Achha.
And then office adhesives.
Achha.
And then they later started making hair fixers, which we use. Sikhs are using.
Okay.
Yeah, Sikhs are using. So he was pioneer. All these things it was like one of the first ones to do it. Nice. Fountain penning, there were only 2 companies who did it, because before them only the imports were coming in.
Okay.
So Camlin and Weldon. Camlin started in 1936 and Weldon started in 1939.
Achha.
So that's it. So while in college, I would start going to office also. Whenever I was back from Chandigarh, I had to go to a factory, I had to go to office, and Dad instilled in me that तुम्हें scientist बनना है. You have to become a scientist, you know. So I had to complete my BSc, and I came back and I joined business.
Achha. Which year?
Actually, I came back in 71, end of 71. But 3 years I was in training in our Delhi unit, and in 74 I started another unit called India Inc. Corporation, which was a franchisee for Weldon.
Achha.
Well, the same family company, but it was like that.
Achha.
So I ran it for a few years. Then in 1982, I had already installed a coating plant to make tapes. I was part of stationery. So there I started making silicone papers.
Achha.
So then I made spun it off as a separate company called Weldon Celloplast.
Achha.
And So that was done in 1982, but by 78 I had already started making silicone liners.
Silicon liners.
Yes.
That's where your journey or the start of the
Yes, and in
label
between,
industry in India.
there are so many things happen up and down, but that will come to later.
Yeah, so tell us from there, like 1978 में जो label industry, you can probably connect it with your journey and the India में बाकी के लोग जैसे आप बता रहे थे S दोषी papers or those people, you can just bring in some interesting snippets about the industry.
Okay, when I started like silicone coating, it was a very nascent times that time. There were not many people making. There was probably one Geva here, PCI papers, and there's one in Calcutta. So there were only maybe two or three names only there. So when I started making, so it was very difficult. Even silicone was available only from one company called Metro Arc, which was big. Later on became a joint venture with Wacker Chemie of Germany, and further later on it was acquired fully by Wacker, and now is Wacker Chemie.
Okay.
So I mean, we would get silicone like a ration. The sales manager would really not give us material.
Achha.
But somehow we managed to survive, and we started making silicone paper and started supplying to all over the country, and at that time we started innovating.
अच्छा.
Why?
और कैसा था मार्केट तभी? अभी आप 78 80 बोलोगे?
Only screen windows.
Only screen windows.
Sheeted products.
अच्छा.
And challenges उस time भी आते थे because the silicone chemistry we used was tin catalyst system and solvented.
अच्छा.
So it was a post-cure product.
Okay.
Means if you have not kept it properly, if you have not given it proper kind of humidification and all, the curing would be erratic. It would
Okay.
not be the same release levels.
Okay.
Sometimes the release is very easy and sometimes very tight.
Okay.
So it was like that. So when I got into it and I said, this is getting bad, now what to do? So started again my studies in the chemistry. I went through the processes, the chemical processes. Then I realized that the platinum catalyst system is much better. It's not a post curing. The moment it comes out of the heat and cools down, the reaction comes to a stop.
अच्छा.
So I shifted to the platinum system. I was the first one in India to start silicone coating with a platinum catalyst and solvented system.
आपने सिलिकॉन कोटिंग कितने साल की है?
Always I have done from 1978 until about 2 years.
So how has the industry evolved in these many years?
Yeah, from very small. Let me finish with what I was telling you about the platinum silicone coating system. That chemistry in 1 year, I changed it 3 times, and it was the first time, all the things first time in the country. Tin system they were doing before, but the solvented platinum I started, and then we went on to solvent less. Why? Because in 1 year, 3 times my factory caught fire.
Oh.
Because when you're coating the liner and it's going through rollers, there's static buildup. One small static and the solvent would catch fire.
Achha.
And the whole factory, you could see the flames going up. Fortunately, we had moved all our stocks on the different hall. So there was no flammable things lying around there. So it would take just a week to restart again. But then we learned our lesson. Then one of the guys from Singapore came and he helped me. I went all around Europe. We went to some advanced coatings near London, and he showed me the 5-roll coater. We tried to replicate it. The guy, my friend in Delhi, who was doing my coating plant, Jandu Engineers, he said, you get me a drawing for the 3-roll coater, I'll do it for you. And we were the first one to do a silicone coating, solventless, on a 3-roll coater. And thereafter we didn't have to change. And that chemistry prevails even till today.
Oh.
So that is what it is. Next question, what
I was asking you about the journey of the
how
silicone
label started in
labels.
India. Okay. So I would say it's all actually in my book which is coming out.
Yeah,
it's all on my blog also. The history is all there. So
just small snippets.
Yeah,
छोटे stories.
The first sticker did not use a silicone liner. It did not use a silicone liner.
फिर क्या?
This man, Manohar Lal Bhatia, he used to sell stickers by name of Shara stick. How he made his first sticker was, he used a black colored polyethylene. Polyethylene is a hard to wet low energy surface. nothing. Even if you put a sticker on it for some time, I mean, with any other gum, it will fall off.
Achha.
After some time, once it dries up, because nothing sticks to it,
Achha.
So even today, if you don't do a corona treatment on one of these polyethylene films, nothing will stick properly. The ink will not stick to it. You do synthetic paper, if
Correct.
corona is not done,
Without corona, nothing will work.
So he used a polyethylene liner, and he used an adhesive supplied by Calico.
Uh-huh.
It was very hard, and if he had to, and it was very tight release. But if he had used paper, it would not open because it would tear off. So he used a PVC face stock,
Achha.
a PVC stick face stock, and that's how he made the first sticker.
Achha.
And he screen printed it on the other side. And the first sticker he made was for Gabriel shock absorbers.
Achha. Nasik plant, yeah.
I don't know where it was, but
Okay.
there's a screen printer. I don't know if he's still there today, but about 20 years back when I was researching on this, I called him. It was Badr Hasija. I asked him. He says 110%. Binoor Bhatia was the first one, and when he made it, we were wondering what is this. So evolving from that, what happened is that Suresh Doshi, Shantilal Doshi and company, they were into wallpapers and they wanted to make self-adhesive wallpapers.
Achha.
So he went shopping for a coater.
Okay.
So he went to Germany to various. Finally, he settled down with the Cronut coater. But on that coater, they could coat adhesive and silicone itself also.
Uh-huh.
So that Cronut coater was coming to India to make these papers and all. They could make release paper and they would make self-adhesive. They coat the adhesive also. But meanwhile, this man Jitu Bhai Shah, he was visiting standard printer providers in Himalayas. They were agents for Iwasaki, Japan.
Uh-huh.
So they had kept some stickers on the reception. While he was waiting to meet the Mr. Saidya, so what happened is he took a sticker and he would put his hand to it and put it over. He got very surprised. What is this? I mean, it is still tacky. You don't need water to moisten it. So he kept on doing that. He got so excited, he put down the catalogs and he actually bought the machine.
Achha.
So it's so interesting that the machine and the coater arrived almost the same times. So the raw material was ready and this was ready.
Achha.
So Jitubhai, when he installed the machine, he was wondering, now dies kidhar hai, flatbed dies. So he told me a very strange story. He said he found a die maker in the red light area of Mumbai.
Achha.
He says, in the night, I used to take a blanket on my head and go there so that my relatives don't see me going to the red light area. But he got the dies made.
Okay.
And meanwhile, Suresh Doshi had already produced the label stock. So it was like made for each other kind of thing.
Okay.
So once that was done, so they actually put a full page advertisement in the paper saying die cut stickers to your size, to your shape, and that was the start. And the first sticker they made was for Siemens.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely. So this label industry, the way it is today, I mean, you are having hundreds of different converters. I mean, right from who are doing the label stock and who are converting, making them into labels. So how do you see this industry? I mean, is it over competitive, or how do you see that?
See, the industry, there is intense competition there now. See, it started with Mumbai, right? So once Shantilal Doshi had done fine arts and done, in fact, Jitu Bhai's neighbor in his residential society, Vidya Mehta, her son Sanjay Mehta, they also got the same machine there. So it proliferated in Mumbai. From here, the Doshis actually made it expand. They had a relative in first super labels, Bharat Bhai.
Achha.
So Bharat Bhai they encouraged him to buy a machine. So he started making labels here. And then they got Dilip Sutaria in Chennai.
Okay.
He started making labels there. Then they commissioned their friend, their partner, Dilip Sutaria's partner, Vinod Khanna in Delhi to be their distributors there. And in the eastern sector, previous national champion for badminton, tennis, Premjit Lal, they made him their what agent or converter over there. So that's how it spread. But it was only in the metros. Now today it has gone to the interiors of India.
Right.
It's gone. There's a guy making labor stock in Pondicherry. There's a guy making labor stock in Pathankot.
Correct.
So it's everywhere now.
It's everywhere. But that's a good thing in a way. The market might have
The
also
market
grown.
expands. It's good thing, yes, because it's getting more regional now.
Right.
That is the reason why when Avery came into India, gradually they understood the nuances. So they've got factory in Pune, they've got a factory in the Gurgaon one, they've closed and they merged it with the Noida factory. They've got stitching units all over the country. So that's how they are operating, yes. So the competition is so intense, and what has happened is now there's a Me Too factor coming up. Anybody who sees a label printer growing says, "Maybe kar sakta hu. I can also do it." So what they do is they have some ancestral property or something saved somewhere. They'll buy a machine.
Acha.
If the budget is not enough, they buy a used one. They buy a machine and hire a place. The thing entry level is very small, and then they get a labeled stock manufacturer, because there are now plenty of them everywhere.
label stock, yeah.
In Delhi alone, probably you'll find about 30-40 of them. So plenty of them. So what they will do is then material comes on credit, and they get the credit, they give the credit, and that's how it goes.
The cycle starts.
So one guy takes away their money, they have nothing else to do. Label stock, रोक दो पैसे, stop their money.
अच्छा.
So-
इतना dangerous है.
It's a danger, yes. You see, where else? Ink is a very small part of it. They cannot hold this money for the dyes. They cannot hold the money for breakdowns and all.
Label stock का पैसा रोक दो.
Yeah. If you talk of the cost factor, I think
70% cost the label stock.
80%, 85% is only label stock.
Label stock.
15% is other materials.
अच्छा.
And what used to be 1:2 margins have come down now substantially. Now label printers sometimes say, if you talk about when the guys who are using stock lots, they are selling at the cost of label stock, the labels.
Oh.
So they buy it by kilo and they sell it
In square meters.
Yeah, in square meter.
So how is you've been in this industry for so long? How is the global industry, the West, US, and you're so well traveled? I'm sure you'll have some perspective. And how is it in India? What did we miss, or what have we done better?
See, the only thing is we've been able to offer cheaper things, but now with evolution, Indian industry, there are printers who have come of age. Now they have invested big time prices. You see everywhere in North, you see people like Anygraphic, Zircon, and you see in Mumbai you have they like all of them now. Mudrika is there, Creative is there, Ajanta was Hutama, whole you name them and they're all there. In South also you have Pragati there, you have a whole lot of them there.
Right.
They are there all over the country now. In smaller towns also now you have another Pragati Global in Indore. Indore is full of printers there.
Right.
You go to Ahmedabad, oh my God, every colony has a number of
Every
printers
colony has
there.
printers, yeah.
So and they're big and small. You see people like Letter Graphics, they're rising. I mean, they're all over the place. They're
Right.
all over the place. So the industry has grown,
Yeah.
and they've come to global standards now.
Right.
They've invested in big machines, latest ones. They understand that innovation and embellishments are the finer parts of actually marketing today. If we don't do it, we will not survive. The bottom of the triangle is very big, very big. Anybody can live there, earn his bread. That's
Survive.
all. Survive.
But बड़ा होना है तो क्या आपके हिसाब से क्या करना चाहिए?
They have to invest.
So few points that you would say that someone who's getting into this industry as a beginner and he wants to become like the big guys in this industry, तो उसको क्या करना
He
चाहिए?
need to innovate. He need to adapt technology. He needs to be sustainable now, because all companies understand what is happening to the Mother Earth. It's going wrong. It's going wrong. The 50% of all the label stock is going as waste.
Release
So
liners.
either what companies like Avery Dennison would want is to we invest on recycling, but there are others who say remove the liner, go linerless.
Correct.
So there is a lot of technology evolution. As such, label market has gone to different tangents. At one time, it was only wet glue labels, 100%. Then pressure sensitive took away 50% of the market. And then shrink sleeve came, it took away about 20-30% of that market also, label stock also. And then wraparound labels came. Then a lot of then direct on digital came. Then direct on product came.
Correct.
In-mold labels have come.
Correct.
So it's just going on changing. If a person coming in does not look into the future, does not look into evolution, will naturally be left behind 5 years later. Today, he might be happy. He might say, no, I'm not investing into this. It is too expensive. Digital is coming in so fast. When we came, we started talking of digital. If you go on my blog, you will see the first year we could count 13 machines. Another 2-3 years we saw 22 machines. Then about 2 years, a year before last, it was, I think, 26 or 52 machines, right? Last year what I did was 93 machines.
Oh, it's growing that
so it's
rapid.
coming in now very fast.
Okay.
The speeds were very slow. It started with 5-10 meters and on. Today, HP has launched a press V12. It runs at 120 meters per minute. They've gone into flexible packaging. They got into cartons. Even the flexo presses, they're changing now.
Right.
From labels they're getting into flexible packaging.
Like
Carton
what Trigon is doing.
Trigon is doing?
Yeah.
No, Omet has just sold a press. We can't name the customer because they don't allow.
Yeah.
It's a carton press, and it's a huge one.
Oh, nice.
It's in India.
Lovely. So, from your perspective, what is the future? If you had to guess the future, 5 साल में कैसा रहेगा इंडिया का label industry?
See, I look at a couple of printers. It's wrong to name them, but it's okay because see the guys have done. Like Any Graphics has been 8 or 9 times continuously label printer of the country, a year award. He's been winning that award continuously.
Nice.
We go to his factory, the kind of innovation that guy comes out with. He's got everything in the factory. He's got offset, screen, doming, everything. He can mix and match and creates labels. Like he's one of the only. He's the only probably printer in India or in the whole of Asia who's got shortlisted into the innovative printer of the year award at global level.
Very nice. Lovely.
At the global level.
That's nice.
So such kind of people who can innovate, who can bring out things which really get the customer to pick up the product from the shelf. That is what is needed. Letra Graphics have changed. They were a very docile kind of company, and with Nirav coming in, and suddenly everything is changing now.
Yeah, I see them much more.
He's a much more aggressive guy. You can see that happening,
A lot of things coming out from Letra Graphics.
Chandan used to be like that, but Chandan sold out his company here. But he still got it in Thailand and UAE, Ajman, and Sharjah. Okay. He still got it there. So a lot of people are there who are.
So you answered my question as innovation again. In terms of the future, anything else that you see? Any specific trends?
No, adopting changes.
Newer technologies.
Yeah, that is it. If you don't adopt new technologies, 5 years later you will be behind. That's different. That's definite. I can tell when mobiles came in, people said, don't want mobile. I have a friend in Delhi who had a restaurant in Egypt also, did very well. But he was anti-mobile. Today, everything on mobile.
You can't do without a mobile. It's impossible. I सोच भी नहीं सकता ऐसे कोई बात करेगा तो sound बेवकूफ.
Now, I don't even need a laptop. Whatever I write on my laptop, I don't know, it automatically comes on my phone.
Correct.
It goes through the cloud.
Everything automatically. Yes,
everything. And you're connected with the world.
Yeah.
See, earlier what used to happen is a normal guy could not reach the chairman of a company, of a big company, right? But today, anybody can write on anything. Now the onus is on the other guy to respond or not.
Right.
But the capability is now there.
Right. It's easier to connect.
And with X, what used to be Twitter, and you can reach out to the world. You can reach out to the leadership all around the world.
Who's who?
Who's who of?
Correct.
Who of the world.
Yes. On the technology front, आपने linerless labels का mention किया, and I think that's a little important क्योंकि with your experience, what do you see? What has been the journey of linerless labels और आगे future क्या रहेगा? क्या success मिला industry में अभी तक?
See, the basic concept is like a tape at the moment, but it has to go beyond that. It is like a tape.
Correct.
So what happens is on let's take it, for example, we take a filmic one. So you print on the back side, you put the adhesive on that side only, and this side is the silicone on it. So you roll it. So then you can't cut shapes. So if you take let's say if you print it like that on a clear film, then it will look like if it's a different shape, but it will still not be cut in the shape, right? On paper, people have done, but then you can have only square or rectangle labels, right?
Right.
And that also they developed machines which can do micro perforation, and they can be like blown onto this thing. So, and there are other companies like probably with a lot of, I think 3 or 4 companies, Ritrama and
still I had seen a label expo in Germany.
ILTI and OMET, they did a something together. In that, what happens is they give a laminate. It's got a BOPP or a polyester liner, thin liner, about 12 micron all liner. So what they do is the label is printed, everything done, and they remove the liner and they put it on top.
Acha.
They put it on top and then rewind it.
Acha.
So what you got? A linerless label now, and it is thinner than the paper liner. So you have lesser material going to the landfills.
Okay.
So that was one technology.
Right.
So these are the coming, but at the moment still the major part of linerless what is coming is in the barcode labels.
Barcode labels. That's where I've also seen. Still, our my very good friend Mr. Alex from Allied Specialty, he also introduced a product of linerless labels for barcode in Label Expo.
Yes, but basically
But they're all into barcode currently,
that's a simple thing, because see, earlier it was a problem putting a coating on the, I would say, on the thermal paper. But now with the UV technology, UV silicones coming in, it's easier now, because otherwise silicon needs heating to curing. For cross-linking, you need to put it through a very high heat, so it would burn, the paper would go black. So now with the silicon technology improving, so they've got a silicon-coated liner, and everybody is supplying actually. So a lot of people are saying my innovation, but it's been there for a few years now. So that is the major part of the linerless at the moment. Or there are some food companies who are using a tape kind of thing to seal their plastic packages where they put see-through food items in a plastic packaging and all. So there which is being used. But the challenge still remains that it should be die-cut, embellished label going on the thing. I was talking a few years back with, Schreiner labels in Germany.
Heard.
Schreiner is very big in security and innovations. They do this disposable injection labels and all.
Oh, nice.
So you can break the injection into the label only and dispose it off. Those kind of things they do.
Nice.
But Mr. Helmut Schreiner, who was the president and chairman, his son Roland is now the president. Helmut Schreiner told me once, I think the biggest challenge is going to be digital on product. That evolves. You will have a fully decorated one. Even like foiling, with what Landa had exhibited, you can actually embellish it with that metallic effect on the bottle
directly,
digitally, without the carriers.
So no films, no paper.
Film, no nothing.
Okay.
So things are working out that way. So evolution is something that needs to be seen. If you have to see, no need to leave everything and start running after that, but you have to keep that in mind.
Keep an eye.
If people who are not focused on that, will lose out one day. That's very important.
Interesting.
That's very important.
Very good point.
Because I have seen everything happening from, see, when label printing started, they started with 5-inch presses running at 4-5 meters per minute. Where we've reached, digital, which Trigon has installed, is 760 mm wide.
Yes.
Right?
30 inches.
It is 30 inches, right? And now with the V12 coming in, 120 meters per minute. And even in Flexo, Omit has introduced 850 mm. And with combination of Flexo, gravure, solvent gravure, water based gravure.
It's no more narrow web, it's all become wide web. Getting
The
wider.
label industry, I would say, the narrow has become a little wider, because earlier narrow was 10 inches.
Yes.
The biggest narrow was 10 inches. 10 became 13. 13 became 430 mm, 330 mm, 430 mm. Then Pragati bought their first 530 mm. Now 670 has started coming in now.
Yes.
So, but wider than that is, which used to be, I would say, mid-web, has gone into, which used to be called wide web, is now gone into mid-web actually. So, wide web is probably 2 meters and all. It's getting wider and all.
Yeah, true. True. So now you've spoken a little about on the future of this industry. I would want to also understand, consolidation. That's something we spoke about. Printers, gali, mohalle mein itne phail gaye hain across the country. So you're seeing opportunities for consolidation for good companies where there could be, a few companies come together and become larger.
Yeah, that I would say it's a thing that would really help the industry actually go. But within domestically, people are not so conducive to talk about that. There are things available, smaller ones who wish that they could get together and become bigger. You see, in Europe, you know what All for Labels has been. Adrian Dippenauer is quite well known to me. So he was Raco Labels.
Achha.
So they now have become one of the largest company in the world. So they've got a consortium of label printers, all come together.
Okay.
All have come together and they call it All for Labels. There's one company, right? So it's become very big now. So so what they have, they can supply from anywhere. So that kind of concept we're talking about. But see what has happened at the moment, even mergers and acquisitions in India have not come to that level. They've happened here, quite a few, but there's nothing available at that level. When the foreign companies come here, what they want, that size is not available.
I wanted to ask you about the consolidation possibilities in India. So what do you think? Will companies in India consolidate, and will companies from abroad invest in India?
See, they're two completely different things. Company from India consolidating, it could be a very good thing. But the problem is the Indian printers, when they think of selling their company or doing something with somebody else, their wishful thinking about getting a lot of money, that will probably be a hindrance. See, the concept in India has to change. In abroad, when they sell a company, they feel what is going to be the future of their company. The name should not go down. The employees should not suffer. But here it's the other way around. Here, when the company, the owner wants that I should get my share, and
बाकी मेरा problem नहीं है.
बाकी मेरा problem नहीं. That has to change.
Okay.
Because
so what should be
consolidation has to be, everybody has to come together and work together. Win-win situation. So, and as far as the foreigners are concerned, many have burnt their hands. So this, like CCL is very annoyed with having invested in India, with joint ventures. On their own, they might do it. Same thing happened with the Reinders. They invested with the thing, the joint venture broke off. Same thing happens with Nordwalls. They tied up with somebody, it didn't work out, they broke off. So these are things that happen, and so that has to change.
Like in other sectors of the Indian industry, we see a lot of interest of coming into India in automotive, in manufacturing, in aviation, in so many defense. तो ऐसे हमारे प्रिंटिंग इंडस्ट्री, लेबल इंडस्ट्री में फॉरेन कंपनीज का इंटरेस्ट है.
But the problem is the volume, the turnover they are looking at is not available here. It's so spread out. It's so spread out. Probably if somebody is strong enough to consolidate and make a big company there, then probably something will happen. Here, when they say about $20 million, how much will it transfer into rupees?
It's around 200 crores.
200 crores. He says minimum उतना चाहिए. You can count only 3 or 4
Three companies were there in that sale. Hey, सब लोग 100 के अंदर है.
हाँ.
50 के आसपास है.
It's all 50.
50 के आसपास.
It's averaging to 50 only. I would say less than 50 because there are 2-3 crore ones also.
Yeah.
But I would say it's all less than 50.
नहीं, वो तो उनकी गिनती नहीं करते हैं. We'll talk about companies who are about 25-30 crores or between 100-200 crores.
150, more than 150, I can count only 3 companies. That's it.
अच्छा.
They are not named them, but we call them just only 3 companies.
3 companies. अच्छा. तो आप क्या देख रहे हैं? Will these companies who are in 20 to 50 crores, जो वो रेंज में है और जिनको 100 crores प्लस करना है, तो उनको क्या करना चाहिए आपके हिसाब से? What should they be doing? Your view.
See, there are 2 ways of doing it. Like one company does it by fighting out competition and lowering the prices. His balance sheet will always be under stress.
Correct.
Right?
Lowering prices में तो कोई आप
And then there are other companies who do it on innovation and where the involvement of the owner is so huge that every minute, every label he's seeing himself. So there the innovation is there. The systems have to be more professionalized. It's happening. It's not that.
ये इससे मेरे को एक सवाल आपको पूछना था, क्योंकि आप इतना वेल ट्रैवल्ड हैं, आप इतने आपके दोस्त लोग हैं बाहर के देशों में, तो ये जो फॉरेन कंपनीज हैं उसके जैसे हमारे जो ओनर्स हैं, प्रिंट कंपनी ओनर्स या लेबल स्टॉक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ओनर्स खुद इन्वॉल्व है बिजनेस में. Is that the same globally also?
No, because the unfortunate part in Europe and maybe even in US, what is happening is the younger generation is not interested.
अच्छा.
They are not joining their parents' companies, their family companies. They're moving away. In India, there's a whole lot of new generation coming in and there's place for them.
So would you advise the company to be professionally run or would you want the company to be owner driven? आपका क्या view है?
See, it's actually a very divided kind of thing to be talking about. See, if you look at companies in like press manufacturer, the professional companies keep selling out. The owner-driven are still running. Check Neil Peter, check Omet, they're still running.
Correct.
But the moment they professionalize, they go for sale. One or the other, they go for sale. They keep changing hands. But they still exist. I'm not saying they don't exist, but that's the difference that comes in.
That's for the machine manufacturers, but on the
label side, also things like that happen, no? Because what happens?
This Canon globally is a professionally run company. Every Dennison is a professionally run company. तो इंडिया में ऐसे professional run companies.
Just Canon also. The last is by all Rugland only, no?
Okay. But they have.
He and his son are the owner, no?
Owners, but they are not running the business in India or in Africa or those places.
Yes. No. That way, see, that way we had Chandan Khanna doing it, no? He's got Sachin Arya running the thing all alone in Sharjah, Achha. In UAE. Now he's setting up a new factory. That boy is running. I've written an article on him on my book. It's on my blog. Mm-hmm. He's running a whole show and he's expanding.
Nice,
right? And he's got another manager, I don't remember the name, in Thailand, is running. India, he sold it off to Huhtamaki. So Chandan was doing that, right? So like that, some people in India also who have got multi-location, they are going multi-location, they are also managing, sitting in Delhi, Saicom Codes had factory in Vapi.
I think SMI is also professionally managed.
SMI was family managed, not.
नहीं अभी after Jindal's taking over.
Yes, but there is a challenge because there is 2 months professional. And the label printers are not very happy at the moment, but I think it should be like that. It should be that. See, I don't know. Label printers have all been used to having personal contact with the owners and all.
Okay.
And even with Avery, the top management, the relationship with the bigger printers is quite like a family and all.
Okay.
So they have maintained
So
that
there is an expectation of the top management being involved.
Yes, there's a big expectation. All label printers.
पर सर अगर ये आप ये पॉइंट कह रहे हो तो एक कंपनी 100 करोड़ 200 करोड़ 500 करोड़ कैसे पहुंचेगी if you are going to be the owners are going to be personally involved in the business?
See, that's why I'm trying to see which company has a front में somebody who's not the owner. I can't recollect anybody.
Actually, all these companies.
Only I can recollect is Hutamaki is there. Reinders is there, but they're foreign companies. Indian, I can't recollect who is there where the front man is not the owner.
Not the owner. Actually, even I can't really think of anyone right from Pragati. We deal with almost everyone. Manipal or Seshasai or.
The Manipal, of course, is like.
Yeah, but.
Gautam does not take all the decisions.
He wouldn't take the decisions there is, but then he's involved.
But he can overrule.
He's involved in the business. Yeah. Nice. So coming to Harveer ji, with 46 years of legacy in this industry, what would you want to be remembered as?
Somebody who actually acquired knowledge and shared it with the industry.
Okay.
And gave it back and made the industry grow. I contributed to the growth of the industry. I changed the silicon chemistries. I did help in increasing the reach for the people and try to reach them through my writing, as an author also. And whenever somebody calls me, I never say no. I try to tell them, I advise them how to go about it. Out of the blue, somebody calls me, I have a problem, how do I handle this? And when I started writing, like I was telling you about curl, moisture to control curl.
Correct.
So, I mean, people used to ask me and then they would say, why do you give it free? I said, that's my passion to give free.
So tell us about your book. You're coming up with a new book.
Before my book, I'll tell you about my passion. At 73, I have wished to start another venture.
Oh.
And cooking is my passion. I create recipes. And if you follow me on Facebook, you will see that I keep posting things on that.
Do you cook yourself?
Yeah, myself. Yeah.
Oh, lovely. Nice.
So that's why. So I got. Later I'll tell you what all I can do. But this is just a passion. That's it. So your first question was about my book.
My thing was about your book. Yeah, you're coming out with a book.
The book is basically everything is on the blog. So I've just taken up the untold stories, I would say. Like I'll give you an example. You've heard of paper products, right? Which was turned now is Hutamaki. Paper products has a long history coming from Lahore, and not many people know that the Moolchand Hospital in Delhi's Lajpat Nagar is that family's creation, right? So it's on the blog. So I wrote the untold story of Suresh Gupta. So Suresh Gupta was the son-in-law of the founder, Sardari Lal Talwar, right? So such stories are there. If people want to know how Zircon, Sijir Sondi, how he reached 150 or whatever he says, 150 plus or 200 crores, how he reached. He was a medical representative, right? So how he reached, his story is there.
Nice.
Kuldeep Goyal started from a one-room apartment. There, any graphic, mother, everybody there. He used to borrow a cycle, print stickers with his hand in that room and go and sell in Kashmiri Gate Auto Market. One day that shop closed, his money went, we came out and the cycle also went. The cycle owner tried to abuse him and he told him, don't abuse, within 6 months I will earn money. He sold calendars on the street and paid that guy off. And see where he's reached now. Such people, such stories are there. Dinesh Bhai, I think, knows that sticker wale, Mitul Gogri, Dinesh Gogri.
Naam suno, I can't.
Dinsons.
Yeah.
राशन बेचते थे, राशन की दुकान में.
अच्छा.
Used to write राशन and रात को स्टिकर बनाते थे. Now they have a factory in वहाँ पे,
yes.
Right? So such stories are all there. Inspirations.
Right.
From where they started and where they reached.
Right.
Even मुद्रिका,
yeah.
वो भी घर से, कमरे से शुरू किया था.
Correct.
And see where they've reached.
Yeah, one of the finest companies nowadays.
So such things are there. People, I mean, for youngsters, it's inspiration. No?
Yeah,
so
it is.
that's what, and then everybody wants. There's nobody in the world who has recorded history like this from the first label that was made till where it is now.
Very nice. And then on behalf of the printing industry and in my own small way, I would like to thank you for bringing this up. It's nice to put this in a book and making it available for people to read.
Yes.
It's really nice. We, in short of time, I'll just go towards the last two questions. It's almost an hour now.
Okay.
So this is basically more for us to know how we should do better. And one of that is, you interacted with so many people. So we ask our guests to suggest some names who could be possible future guests on our show. I think Kuldeep Goyal is definitely someone
there.
Been taking his name. I have connected with him. Would love to have him sometime.
Very interesting
Anyone
story.
else you have?
Yes, well, there are a lot of them. I think maybe I should think of them, but a lot of people have done there. I mean, Shiva Kasi, Mr. Ravindran, from very modest ground, they've come up very well.
Okay, I'll take his contact from you.
In label printers, they are the ones who have done it. And even Anant Rao in Hyderabad, very modest guy. I wrote an article on him mentioning gentleman of the industry. I mean, though he had very rich, affluent background, but he went through a very systematic way to coming where he is, that way. And because I believe in networking. I think biggest thing growth in my life has been, it's not the money. Money comes and goes. It's here today with me, tomorrow is with you, tomorrow back with me. It's that money is not what is
keeps flowing.
It keeps flowing, and that's not what brings satisfaction. What brings satisfaction is when you walk into a event and people recognize you.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So such people are there, and who've done very well in their life, and I think you should cover them up. And I can keep suggesting, there's no problem.
Yes, please, I will.
The whole industry is like.
I'm sure you know.
And if you go through my blog and my website, you'll find many names there.
Yes.
Many names.
And I'll take their contacts from you. I'll message you and take their contacts.
Anytime.
And one last thing is about the podcast. You've done this with us now. What do you think? And any advice for us? How can we do better?
I had to see it myself. In fact, what happens is that it's a very good medium now, and it's started expanding very fast
the last
now.
few years, yes.
A lot of people have started doing it.
Correct.
And they did call me a couple of times, but I've never gone there. In fact, it's been the other way around. HP actually have hired me in my service to interview people. I did it with Vinod Vazapalli when he was in Scanum. I did it with Psycom Code with our Harish for his HP.
Nice.
HP Indigo.
So you've done a podcast yourself. That's nice.
Actually, they actually make a full studio in that company's premises, and they call me, and
it's good. See, the whole idea is there has to be more number of people. Like in my knowledge, there are many who are doing this podcast, because these stories have to come. मैं अकेले कितने कर लूँगा? In a year, probably 50, 60, not more than that. So there has to be tens and 20s of people who have to come with different such podcasts and bring out these stories. जो भी आपकी story, आपने इतने सारे लोगों का नाम लिया. So it will be nice that these stories will be recorded for the future people to get inspired.
With due respect to all the printers and the constituents of the industry, I would say that there are so many more names that I may have skipped.
Absolutely.
See, the association, LMI has become so strong now.
Correct.
LMI started where in 2001 or 2000, I think 26, they are celebrating the 25th Silver Jubilee. And it started with just 5 printers today. When they have this time the award ceremony, last time they had the award ceremony on the sidelines of Label Expo, it was 700 people who paid to get in. It was not free for label printers. They paid, every seat had been paid for.
Nice.
So
That's the growth.
That's the
of
growth.
industry.
That's the
And
growth.
That's the contribution.
LMI
of each and
has
every
done a
individual.
lot of work now.
Lovely.
They have done a lot
Very
of
nice.
work. So
Great, Harveer ji. Thanks for your time. Really appreciate. Thank you.
my
Thanks a lot.
pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks.